First, the commute. James isn't paid for it, but it costs him anyway. 1 hour a day, sometimes more. That's time sold without appearing on a paycheck. Fuel, tickets, wear and tear, expenses that exist only because the job exists. Then there's preparation. Clothes chosen for approval, not comfort. Shoes that hurt, shirts that wrinkle, grooming that isn't optional. These aren't lifestyle upgrades, they're requirements. Next comes food, not nourishment, convenience. Lunch bought because there's no time. Coffee bought because there's no energy. Small purchases, repeated daily, individually forgettable, collectively devastating. James still thinks he earns $31 an hour, but the meter has already started running backward. The average worker spends thousands every year just to reach the place where money is made. Gas, insurance, repairs. If it's a car, it exists mostly for the job. 30 minutes each way isn't neutral time, it's depreciation, it's exhaustion. If it's a train, it's a monthly pass. Different method, same drain. Conservatively, that's $4,000 a year gone before work even starts. Then comes appearance. James can't show up as himself. No pajamas, no comfort, business casual, dry cleaning, shoes that signal seriousness. This isn't fashion, it's compliance. Another expense created by employment. Then we hit the real killer, the convenience tax. Because James is locked from 9 to 5, he buys lunch when time runs out. He buys coffee to survive meetings, not enjoy life. He pays a dog walker because the job owns his day. None of these costs exist without the job. He is spending money to stay employed. And then there's the darkest category of all, decompression spending. Money used to numb the damage, the Friday night bar tab, the impulsive vacation, the therapy sessions, retail therapy, escape purchases, spending to repair what work breaks, add it all together. Taxes, transportation, clothes, food, numbness. James isn't living on $65,000. His real income is closer to $35,000, and we're only halfway through. Because wage is money divided by time, and just like money, time is being lied about. HR says 40 hours. That's fiction. James wakes at 6:30 to prepare his body for work. Unpaid labor. He commutes. Unpaid labor. Lunch isn't freedom. He can't leave. He can't rest. He's still owned. He drives home. Then stares at the wall, vents, checks emails, mentally recovers. This is shadow work. Time claimed by the job without compensation. When you add the grooming time, the commute, the mental decompression, and the constant low-level anxiety, James is not working 40 hours a week. He's effectively giving 55 to 60 hours of his life to the job. So now we do the honest calculation, not the advertised wage, the real one. We take that reduced take-home income, around $35,000 a year, and divide it by the true time cost, nearly 3,000 hours annually. The moment you run that math, the 31 an hour illusion collapses. On paper, it disappears. In reality, James is earning $11 an hour, maybe $8. And in high-stress, high-cost cities, he's effectively making less than a teenager working a fast food job, because that teenager walks to work, wears a uniform, and leaves the stress behind when the shift ends. This is the real scam. You are operating inside a high-churn, low-margin business where you are the product and you are selling yourself below cost. Now, I know this sounds bleak. You might be thinking, great, I'm underpaid and exhausted, thanks for pointing it out. But the point of this math isn't despair, it's clarity and leverage. Because once you know your real hourly rate, your relationship with money changes completely. This idea comes from your money or your life, and it's the fastest cure for feeling broke. Let's say your real rate comes out to $10 an hour. You walk into a store and see shoes priced at $100. That tag doesn't mean $100 anymore. It means 10 hours of your life, 10 hours of traffic, 10 hours of meetings, 10 hours away from people you care about. When framed that way, most purchases fail the test instantly. This is how the golden handcuffs tighten. Promotions promise more money but quietly raise the cost of living your life. You get a $10,000 raise. Sounds great. But now you're staying late, ordering food every night, upgrading your wardrobe, buying a second car, and paying for stress relief just to cope. On paper, your salary goes up. In reality, your real hourly wage often goes down. More money moves through your account, but less stays with you, and more of your life is consumed earning it. And there's a darker cost hiding underneath all of this: lost compounding. Every dollar spent just to function at work is a dollar not working for your future. That $5 daily coffee bought out of exhaustion, invested over 30 years at 7%, is nearly $200,000. You're not just buying caffeine, you're spending future freedom. The system depends on you being too tired to ever run these numbers. It needs you focused on gross income, not net reality. So you keep upgrading apartments, financing nicer cars, and locking yourself into expenses that force you to keep the job, just to survive the job. So what actually fixes this? How do you break the equation instead of just complaining about it? The answer isn't quitting tomorrow and disappearing into the forest. That's fantasy. We have rent, we have bills, we have responsibilities. The real solution is this: brutally optimize your real hourly wage. That becomes your new scorecard. Not how much you earn, but how efficiently you convert work into a livable life. Can you negotiate working from home 2 days a week? If that saves you 2 hours of commuting and $10 a day in fuel, you just gave yourself a raise without your employer increasing your salary at all. Can you batch cook meals on Sunday? That immediately lowers your cost of selling your labor. Can you live closer to work? Can you stop overinvesting and looking impressive for people who don't control your future anyway? Every work-related expense you eliminate isn't just saved money, it's reclaimed freedom. But the biggest change isn't tactical, it's mental. You have to start treating your labor like a business. A smart business doesn't obsess over revenue, it obsesses over margins. Your life is the business, and your margin is the time and money left after work stops taking from you. If you earn $100,000 a year but spend $95,000 and give up 80 hours a week to maintain it, you're not successful. You're fragile. You're one shock away from collapse. But if you earn $50,000, spend $20,000 and work 30 hours a week, you are a resilient, profitable operation. You're winning the game that actually matters. This is where the uncomfortable realization turns into action. This weekend, not Friday night when you're fried, but Sunday when your brain works, sit down and run the numbers. Calculate your commute cost. Estimate your taxes honestly. Include the money you spend just to cope with the job. Then divide your take-home pay by the total hours your job really consumes. Write that number down. Put it on a sticky note. Attach it to your credit card. My real wage is $8.50 an hour. The next time you're about to buy something pointless, look at that number. Ask yourself, am I willing to trade 4 hours of my life for this object? That pause will save you more money than any budgeting app ever will. We're entering a world where time is the true currency. The wealthy buy time. Everyone else sells it cheaply. Don't sell yours at a discount. Audit your life. Cut the hidden, blood-sucking costs of working. Create distance between what you earn and what you're forced to spend, because that distance is where freedom actually exists. If this made you look differently at your paycheck, share it with someone at work who always looks exhausted. We're all stuck in the same system, but we can calculate our way out of it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.